Today we're going to talk about how to respond to a negative client email. Hey everybody, I'm Mike Claudio, owner of WinRate Consulting and host of the Big Stud Sales Podcast. Today we're going to talk about how to respond to a negative client email. There's really three responses, but first I'm going to read you a real life email that one of my clients got. I'm going to use fake names just in the sense of protecting people's privacy, but this is an email one of my clients actually received recently. Hey Mike, I have to tell you how disappointed I was with your response to my rescheduling. I understand you are busy and that rescheduling twice was not in your best interest, but considering we are in a pandemic and things arise unexpectedly, I thought you would have more accommodating. Especially given the fact that I have done a lot of work through you as well as referred you to many people who have used you. It is just disappointing when the customer service does not match up to what it once was, especially in the current times. Karen. Here's what actually happened. In this case, this is a client who had damage done to some of her project. It was a project that she thought my client did, but actually did not. And on two occasions, canceled her meeting with my client within a few hours of the actual meeting time, same day. So this wasn't that the contractor was canceling on her, she was canceling on the contractor. And on the third time, the contractor said like, hey, I'm just too busy right now to reschedule this. And the client got very upset, obviously. So there's three ways to respond to an email like that. The first, and this is not one that I suggest, is to just ignore it. Clearly in this sense, this client was a good referral partner for the business, brought in some business, potentially had future needs that you could resolve. But in general, I don't think hiding from these things are in your best interest. I do suggest delaying responding until you're in some sort of a coherent, non-emotional state, because a lot of times these emails will push you over the edge because you felt you did everything right, they're not appreciating that, and you want to prove them wrong. That is not the right approach. If you don't think you can give them a non-emotional, just straightforward response, do not respond. That's just no response is better than like an attack or a defensive type email. From there, the second thing you can do is just lay out the facts with no resolution. So it could just be, hey, I've tried to meet with you twice, you've canceled, we're really busy right now. Because of the pandemic, we have a lot of clients who need us, and right now I need to divert my attention to clients who are actually prepared to meet with me. I appreciate your schedule is busy, but I can't schedule time and pull that time away from existing clients to give to you. I'm sorry. That's just the reality of the situation. It's very important to use facts when you're responding to this email. In that case, you're actually not resolving anything. You're just proving or stating your side of the story and your point and saying, I'm no longer interested in this. There's a lot of times that can be very powerful for you, especially if it's a client, we've all had them, that just you're never gonna make happy. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how hard you try. This happens a lot in the punch list side of the project where clients are just, hey, there's one more thing, hey, there's one more thing, hey, there's one more thing, and you're 3, 6, 8 weeks into punch list because they wanna hold that last check over your head. There's a lot of times that's a time to just kind of draw the line and say, hey, you need to pay me or we're taking next steps. We've done all we can do from a punch list perspective. So the third option is still try to resolve it, but on your terms. Like you've tried in this case specifically to meet the client on their terms. It's time to kind of pull back the control and still try and help them on your terms. So a good email could be, and I'm gonna read you what we wrote. Hi, Karen. I apologize for making you feel that way. I truly appreciate your past business and referrals, which is why I offered to help in a way I can. I pushed off active clients and offered 2 time slots to take care of your issues during our busiest time in the history of running the business at no cost to you. Since reopening our showroom, we have been both short-staffed and overwhelmed with a little more work than we can handle, and I've been doing my best to satisfy all my customers. I'm still happy to help. However, this time I am booked out over 3 weeks and am prepared to meet with you early next month. So That gives you the opportunity to say, hey, I need you to see it from my perspective. A lot of times clients don't see that. When a client sees you make a decision and you don't understand or explain why you made that decision, they're gonna put their own spin on that, and literally 100% of the time, they're never gonna say, oh, I bet Mike's just busy, I'm sure he'll get back to me later. No, they're gonna create some negative story in their head about you. And in this case, you're saying, hey, I'm willing to help you, but because you canceled twice on me, here's when I'm available again. So ultimately, there's no response to that email at this point. We have not kind of concluded it. It is what it is. But I thought it was a great review of a way that you can turn a potentially negative client experience or complaint into a positive. My approach is always to use facts and then control the resolution. I'm gonna take that person and put them on my terms. It does take a little bit of guts, it does take a little bit of being confident in your process, and it does take a very confident delivery to accomplish that goal. But if you use your words correctly, you take emotion out of it, you use facts, and you give a realistic resolution that you can commit to, it puts you in a really great spot to just stand behind that you do what you say you're gonna do. And that doesn't mean you always do what the client wants you to do when they want you to do it. You own it, you control it, you deliver on it, and that way people know if Mike says something, I know Mike means it. Not always gonna like the answer, but I can believe and trust that Mike's being honest with me. So that's a great way, 3 ways to review a negative client email. Again, check out the podcast, Big Stud Sales. Subscribe to the channel, check the bell to make sure you get alerted next time a video is released. We're doing 2 videos a week going forward and want you to make sure that you don't miss any of the goodness. So don't forget, go out, win fast, and win often.